morning once again. Welcome to another edition of To The Point here on Classic Radio, GBN TV. Good morning to those of you listening and viewing via our social media audiences, platforms I should probably say. That's the YouTube channels, Facebook page, those of you via GBN's webpage, gbn.gd. Good morning and welcome. It's GT, your host, on To The Point this morning, and my guest this morning. Let me say good morning to Chrislyn Lashington. I hope I'm getting your name right, you know.
Yes.
I always knew it was just the Chrissy thing, but I was viewing it this morning, it said Chrislyn, so I get it right.
Yes, you did.
All
You
right.
did. Good morning, GT. Good morning, everyone.
And let me say good morning to Mr. Ricardo Kings Douglas. Good morning to you, sir.
Hello, good morning, GT, and everybody out there.
All right. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing?
Good.
You feeling that independence vibe, as some folks would say?
Yeah, me. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I've been buzzing for a long time, you know. With the excitement of, just the preparation and stuff. But it's a nice vibe. It's a nice feeling out there as well.
I heard somebody mention this morning being an independence baby. I said I probably fall into that particular category.
Really? You? Yes, okay.
I probably am independence baby. Well, the exception of Chrissy, I'm not sure where she falls in.
No,
I'm all the way in November.
Well, I was talking it in the realm of the particular year.
Age.
Yeah.
In the age range and some of that, you know.
I'm here for the stories.
I don't say about our independence baby. Well, I say I probably fall into that realm somewhere in between.
Right.
I don't know. So, Independence 2024, Grenada celebrates its 50th anniversary. It's a good feeling. I'm picking up from the few of your list. There's a little bit of slow pickup for it for some reason or the other. But for the last couple of weeks, with some of the activities from the gospel concert and so forth that took place, the semi-final round for the Calypso competition, that already passed. We're looking for the finals coming up. The momentum is building nicely.
Yeah. And I think why it slowed down too is because of Christmas.
Yes.
When I say
Yeah, we had to give that a little priority in between.
Christmas came right, after and then right into Independence. So that kind of that bridge that, So as you were saying, the momentum is just beginning to pick up, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
What was that feeling you're getting so far? Let's talk to Ricardo for a wee bit, and then we chime in with Chris. They say age before beauty. Right.
Thank you.
Let's start with you for a wee bit.
I'm growing old gracefully.
There's you're part of the most of the choreography that's going to be taking place. You'll be part of that.
Yeah.
So let's kick it off first about the 7th of February.
Okay, yeah. I'm kind of overseeing.
We kind of brushed it off the last time you were here. We just kind of figured through nicely.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting details, but tell me more.
Well, the 7th is going to be one of those magnificent days in the sense of that it's once in a lifetime. It's an experience that people would in the future say I was there for the 50th,
Yes.
So it's going to be a day when I expect every single Grenadian going to be want to be there in the stadium. And it starts off with there's an exhibition in the stadium made in Grenada.
Expo, yes.
So people can come early and look around and they can buy stuff. There'll be everything under the sun made by Grenadians. So that happens during the day. But the parade itself starts at 2:00.
Yeah.
Right? And they will be parading from the fish market from Melville Street into the stadium, right? But I know normally people would want to follow the parade, some people. But because it's the 50th anniversary, people are going to want to be in the stadium to get their seats because it's going to be packed. I know, it's a nice family day. So what's going to happen is that it starts at 2:00, and then it gets to the stadium, and the police, they're very, very precise. If they say 2, and they're going to get there at 2:30, they're going to get there at 2:30. So they get there at 2:00, and then when they get into the stadium, the military parade on the field within the stadium starts at 2:30 promptly.
All right.
Now, before 2:00, there's a lovely surprise. That's going to come from the sky. I don't know. One never knows.
Well, surprise from the sky. Is it going to rain?
No. God is on my side. God is not going to rain, snow, or anything like that, But so something's going to happen before 2:00, for the audience in the stadium.
Yes.
You see, I don't want to talk because I don't know. I don't know if it might happen, might not happen. But the fact remains, be there for 1:00 at least, So when the parade comes in now, Then we have the real military parade with the GG arriving, the Prime Minister, the usual, all the limousines coming in.
A little of the protocol that follows between that time. We understand that.
And we have visiting troops, from outside who will be there parading, etc. And that should take place for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So from 2:30 to 4:30. And then after that, we have the Prime Minister will do his speech, etc. And then from that, we do a cultural explosion, which happens on the field, right? So that should start around 5, right? And then that cultural explosion on the field, because we're using, we have a 200 kids choir, 200 kids, we have a drum corps of 100 and something. We have, so it's a really, I'm trying to make it different from what we have had before, but still magical. So you're working with about 800 people.
Yeah.
So you're trying to coordinate that 800 to 900 people on the field, who goes where, who comes here, that kind of stuff. And I want to use the youth because I want this to be an experience for them,
Yeah.
So in the next 50 years, I can say, I was part of that. So it's very, very important for that to happen. So that's what I've included, the youth, and it's a youth from all right around the island. So the choir is we are from all different schools around the island. So we all brought them together. Right. And that's Miss Ramdani's working with that.
Great.
And it's a real good team effort, Cheryl Barnaby, Miss Aban, Cordell with the drum corps. So it's, my motto of working is that teamwork brings great work.
Well, how's the rehearsal part been going thus far?
The rehearsal part has been good. We haven't really put everything together as yet. So this weekend we're going to put everybody together.
All right.
And that's where the choreography comes in, and that will be happening with the military and the group. And then from that we go into a concert.
Okay.
Right. So everything.
And that is also happening on the day of the 7th.
Mm-hmm. So from the cultural explosion is into a concert, and then. Well, that's I'll stop.
You can't say more.
Yeah, stop.
And you have suddenly given me more than you gave the last time.
Yeah.
Suddenly
but
more.
But it's something to look forward to, GT. And so by 7:30, I want you to be out of the park. Hopefully, God willing, because people have been there since 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
So by 7:30, once it gets dark, you should be on your way home.
All right. Interesting. As 50 years. Mm-hmm. It's a long time, and having to celebrate that around this time, it's something that a lot of folks will be looking forward to. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts for 50th anniversary. What more you think could have encompassed, for this anniversary that you think I know your imagination always go wild when in terms of putting things together. What's some things you could have do extraordinary, more extraordinary that you have not done before for 50 years to say, hey, Ricardo did this more than you already planned to do already?
Yeah, I don't know. There's so much. Honestly, there's so much that we are doing. Mm-hmm. If time allows and budget allows, because 50 years, it takes a lot to do. Even just the little things to make it what it should be.
Yeah.
It takes money, it takes everything, and it takes a lot of dedication. I don't know what else we could have done, and unless give us our own airplanes. Because Liat has just had his last flight yesterday, so maybe we can have Air Grenada. But I don't know. I think they're really trying, and the chair, Dr. Wendy Crawford, she's magnificent to work with. It's really a joy. And the committee that they put together, it's really they're really working hard because there's so much little things to do, and you're trying to please everybody, and then you're trying to please the critics, you're trying to please who don't like it. And as my motto, as I was telling Chrissy, is that I really don't know the recipe for success, but the recipe for failure is trying to please everybody. And that's I go. You have a vision, you go for your vision, you take the consequences after. But you can't go here and say I'm going to change it because this person doesn't like it, and then change it, this person doesn't like it. Therefore, you just water down everything and it becomes chaos. So go with your belief, have your vision, go for it, and believe in yourself, and that's it.
Working with the theme for the committee per se, how has that been?
Good. It's great. People loved it. Mm-hmm. The theme song is a big hit.
I play it all the time.
Yes,
it just brings a different feeling.
Yes,
and it comes in with the word I told you, that bit of Grenadianism.
Yes, Grenadianism, exactly. You were talking about Grenadianism last time.
It just gives you that feeling when you listen to it for some reason. If you're not, even though you're not a fan of music per se,
right? Yeah.
But you just
it's a feel-good song.
It brings a different feeling. And I have my little kids singing word for word.
Exactly. And it's inclusive.
I was like, imagine they know all the words. I don't know all the words, but I know the song.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
And they can actually sing it word for word. And just be happy to see youngsters getting themselves involved with that.
Right, yeah.
You know.
You know, and I think it hit the mark, and it's a nice song, you know, and it's young people that did it, you know. Unfortunately, I can't remember the names.
Aquino, Riggy, and
Shanita Patrick Chrissy.
Yeah. They wrote the song, and
So
there's loads of performers. But Up From Here, I think it's definitely a song that makes you feel proud to be Grenadian.
Yes.
It brought tears to my eyes when I saw it the first time on the Carnage at the launch, because you really feel a part of the celebration. And I'm in a festive mood. I'm ready for Independence Carnival. I'm calling it Independence Carnival.
All that seemed to be meshing into one this year, because you know, Carriacou having the activities coming up, of course, Independence and Carnival for them also. Then we have our Independence, and then thinking about it, we do have a year of activities coming. So imagine fitting all the other events that will say Independence, our 50th anniversary, into Carnival 2024 also.
So everything, exactly. So everything that takes place within the year becomes part of the 50. So if it's Carnival 50, it's Sailing Festival 50, it's Storytelling 50. So everything is a celebration, you know.
All right, interesting. Let's take a break. When we come back, we chatted Chrissy, but she's going to talk about another special event that is coming up. I'll give you the date. That's going to be on the 10th of February, a little after Independence Day, but it's another significant event that is coming up. Stay with us, folks. We're coming right back.
Celebrate Christmas and New Year with the NLA's exciting You Must Win promotion. Spend $15 or more in a single ticket purchase on Daily Pick 3, Daily Cash 4, or Playway, and just like that, you have chances to win prizes valued at over $100,000. Winning is easy. Simply check your tickets for the words "You won," free cash, free phones, free tablets, or free Instacash tickets. But wait, that's not all. You can also win free raffle entries for chances to win not one but 2 cars in NLA's You Must Win promotion. Promotion runs December 1st, 2023 to January 31st, 2024. Terms and conditions apply. You must be 18 and over to participate. The NLA, making your Christmas and New Year dreams come true.
Grenada, our beautiful pure island, is turning 50. And what better way to celebrate than with an evening that captures our heart, our spirit, our journey. Welcome to Up From Here, an experience of our past, present, and future. Join us at the National Cricket Stadium on Friday, February 2nd, as we revel in a spectacular showcase of Grenadian talent from our very own shores and from across the seas. Our artists are coming home to celebrate with us. Experience the rhythms that rocked our past and melodies that map our future. Live bands, sensational artists, dynamic dancers, all on one stage. And the best part, it's absolutely free. Gates open at 7 p.m. Showtime 8 p.m. Come early. Bring your family. Bring your friends. Let's fill the stadium with our pride, our joy, our unity. 50 years of music, talent, and creativity. This is our moment, Grenada. Let's celebrate. It's only Up From Here together. Stay connected to our social media pages for updates at Grenada Turns 50.
Grenada, come and enjoy 3 nights of celebration and consecration as the Latter Rain Revival Center celebrates Grenada's Jubilee anniversary. Let's come together to give God thanks for the past 50 years. Join us from January 31st to February 2nd at the Gateway Conference Center in Point Salines. Special guest, Bishop Griffin Daniel from Dominica, bringing a powerful message to pure Grenada. Don't miss this special celebration for Grenada's Jubilee Independence Anniversary. Come and experience spiritual growth, unity, and gratitude. Hosted by the Latter Rain Revival Center, where faith comes alive.
I love my Grenada, my homeland forever.
back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point for today, Wednesday, the 24th of January, folks. With me once again, Chrislyn Lashington, and together with Mr. Ricardo Kings Douglas, we're talking about some of the events that are coming up that will be part of the 50th anniversary of Grenada's independence. Of course, our conversation that before the break, we spoke with Ricardo a wee bit. We talk about Independence Day, what will be taking place. Let's get Chrissy in for a wee bit now. She's been kind of sitting back and absorbing from the older heads, if we can say that. Don't let the grey fool you, though.
I know.
Chrissy is all about Pan 50 and Food Fest. Tell us about that. What is happening on that? About Pan 50 and Food 50 and Food Fest.
Yes, Pan 50 and Food Fest is really an explosion, a celebration of our culture. Mm-hmm. Food and music, I think, are, two pillars of our culture when we think about who we are as Grenadian people. And we really want to celebrate that on the Carnage, which is, decked off lovely with the lights now. And this event takes place on Saturday, the 10th of February, from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay.
So we're literally taking the sun, the sun goes down on the Carnage. We have the lovely lights.
Thinking about the ambience already.
Oh, yeah. The ambience is, it's half set already, given that the lights have added such life and energy to the Carnage. And we're really going to take it up a notch with music. So we're actually going to have 4 different stages along the Carnage.
Okay.
Pan will be playing. We have 7 steel bands on there. And I can just give you a rundown of the bands that will be.
Go right ahead.
We have the reigning Panorama champions, Nexa New Dimension, Republic Bank Angel Harps, Coop Bank Comancheros. We have the Suzuki Food Fair Pan Wizards, the CBI Rainbow City All-Stars, Pan Osea, as well as the Grand Roy Pan Angels. So they're all coming down to the Carnage on that day. And while we have Pan playing, mind you, there's never going to be a dull moment because Pan will always be playing multiple stages, as I said, so you can float between stages. That's the idea. Festival style, right?
I know. Create the ambience for me. Create the scenery, if you could say it for a better word. Create that scenery for me.
Sure. So you walk onto the Carnage from either end. You have the eastern or the western, or by Grentel. I'm still calling it Grentel. I don't know what to call it now. But is it Hughes Street is the name of the street? So you have those 3 entrance areas, right? You're going to see a lovely welcome sign, welcome to Pan 50. We have, of course, multiple food vendors as well. So you're really going to have the sights, you're going to have the smells of good Grenadian food, lots of activities. So not just watching Pan, but also there's a painting session with Nashawn Jeremiah. So you can actually paint on the Carnage while the event is happening.
All right.
So that's something unique. We have the photo area, so you can take photos. You can even learn to play a pan on the side as well.
Somebody actually going to be teaching.
Yes,
you could be taught how to play pan.
Exactly.
Nice idea.
I've grown up playing pan. Ever since I was 6 years old. In primary school, we went over to the Dimension Pan House, and Mr. Peck taught me to play pan.
Great.
And even when I performed in hotels, over the course of, about 2 decades, because Pan literally took me through university. That's what I did. That's how serious Pan is for me. Every time I've performed, people always want to play my pan. Yeah. They want to grab my stick and, see what the sound is like for themselves. And I think it's important to give people that experience as well. So we will have an area where you can actually, figure out the notes on the pan while also getting the vibe of seeing the pan performing, the various steel bands performing.
You ever thought about a Grenadian who can't play pan?
There's lots of Grenadians who can't play pan.
Inclusive of me.
As hands go up.
I can play it, but it doesn't play a tune. I can knock it.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, Pan is so important to us. It's something we can actually claim as our own. We can't claim piano. We can't claim the guitar. We can't even claim the goatskin drum. But Pan is actually birthed in the Southern Caribbean. Yes. It's something we can say it's part of us. So it really is important to spread the good vibe of Pan throughout the nation. And I think this is one of the events where we really get people excited about Pan. We get people people interested. I would love to see coming out of the Pan 50 and Food Fest that there's so many more children begging their parents, saying, take me to the Pan House, I want to learn Pan. Or going to your principal and pressuring them to get to the closest Pan House. You know, this is really what we'd like coming out of it. But Pan is so important to us as Grenadians, as Caribbean people, that it's definitely one of the key monumental events for the independence celebrations
The
this
concept
year.
for that particular idea of Pan 50, how that came about?
I would say this gentleman to my right, the creative genius, Mr. Ricardo Keynes Douglas.
Just was an idea I wanted to see happen, you know, for Pan. And, you know, I've traveled, you know, around the world, and I've seen some wonderful festivals, pedestrian festivals, where, you know, we have one of the most beautiful harbors in the world. And I've seen where they really utilize it with, you know, nightclubs and bars, and it becomes a pedestrian setting. And as you say, we want to celebrate Pan, and it's a perfect setting for Pan, because the harbor, the St. George's Harbor right there, is like an amphitheater.
So true.
Because people I'm in Green Street, and people in the carriage talking, and I can hear them at night. I can hear what they're saying, literally, because
it's dropping, eh?
Yeah, the sound, exactly. The sound rises, you know. And growing up as a kid, the angel harps used to practice on the carriage, and I used to lie in my bed and hear this Pan just wafted on the breeze, you know, coming into your house. It's the most beautiful experience, and sound is really soothing. So that setting is perfect. And I said, what a way to just bring Pan to the people and really celebrate Pan. By doing that. And then we added the festival, the Food Fest, and as Chrissy was saying, and it's great to work with Chrissy, you know, she's really future producers coming up here. Yeah, we have to pass things on, you know. We have to, and that's what's wonderful about, you know.
Activities of that nature, you see, you know, why we can have a continuance of it, you know, not because of our 50th anniversary. I always thought, you know, maybe every Friday night I could probably go to the carnage and listen to something like that.
Exactly.
Just lock it off, you know, cutting out the DJ part of it, the music, but you say Pan.
Right.
You know, different bands, you know, we could have artists performing to Pan. You understand?
And I hope that happens.
I thought, you know, if the authorities ever thought about that, bringing that kind of scenario to the carnage on a weekly basis, you know. Maybe it could be every Friday, every Saturday.
In the 50s and 60s, the police band used to go to play in the fort. You remember that gazebo they have up there?
I would know, Ricky. I would know.
I know. But they used to be there, and they used to be on their esplanade, you know, playing on a Sunday afternoon so people can go down and listen to it. So the same kind of thing could happen. And I think it has kind of started with a little parang and stuff on the carriage. And I think that would be a future of things that can happen in the future.
You know, we kind of lost the feeling of wanting to be part of things of a cultural nature in Grenada. That's my feeling.
Yeah.
You understand? We gravitate more to, you know, we just put up a DJ on and just listen to the music play. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that.
Yeah.
But, you know, Pan, you know, someone drumming and stuff like that. Poetry on the carnage and these things. These things could be interesting, and you know, folks could go on out. Can I get a different feeling, you man? Get you away from have you distracted from the norm.
Yeah,
you understand?
I agree, and it's called appreciation too. You know, for what you have. You know, like, and that comes with education. But with education also comes appreciation. We can educate people and say this is a drum. Yes. But then you have to appreciate the drum.
True. You have to like it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to appreciate it. You have to like it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't like it, you know, you're never going to be part of it.
But that setting, and then as Chrissy was saying with the lights and stuff, now it's just a perfect. And there'll be no cars. So it'll be a pedestrian evening.
Great.
So all the cars will be cut off from the carriage. It'll be moved in advance, and so it's just a walking experience, you know. And I think maybe every couple of months we can do something like that, make that carnival, the carriage a pedestrian.
That Pan 50 could be something that we could see as for being part of the year of activities. So you give thought of that?
Yeah. What do you mean? You mean?
I mean, okay, yes, it's happening on the 10th, but maybe a continuation of it through the year.
Well, that's why I said I call it Pan 50. So maybe next year we'll have Pan 51.
Yeah.
Pan 52.
I mean, I'm just saying, yes, we talk about it for this instance happening on the 10th.
Oh, right.
But maybe for the rest of the year.
You can have activities like that.
That particular. I mean, not get all the bands to come all the time, but you know, 2, 3 of them.
So maybe one can have 2 bands. So
1, 2 bands, 3 bands. You know, maybe every Friday or a Saturday night or something of the sort, and have that.
Yeah, I think I think there's so much potential here. It's just vision and execution. You know, and we procrastinate a lot because a lot of young people, a lot of people have great ideas. You know, but it's to get it to blossom. You know, it sits on a desk or it sits on a table and it just, you know, procrastinates on the table and you know, cobwebs comes in it and then it never happens, you know.
That's so true. With your profession, Ricky, how is young people gravitating? You speak about Chrissy, we understand. Chrissy, that's always been part of her love already. Have you ever seen young people gravitate into your profession?
Yes. Well, it's a mixed thing because some people, they want to do it and I bring them on, and when they see the work, I don't see them. They disappear because people see the show but they don't see the work.
Yeah, that in the background.
In the background. And just Chrissy's working with me. The producing Oscar, it's a lot of work. It's just not just saying get on the stage and do it. It's the planning, it's the logistics, it's the vision, it's the creativity, it's the ambience, it's how you see things, you know. Because as a producer, you have to see the end product.
Yeah.
Because I might be working.
And it's like beforehand too.
It's beforehand.
You know, before the actual event happen, you visualize it and see how it's going to be rolling.
I'm sleeping it. At night I'm sleeping, I'm seeing the stadium, I'm seeing where they're coming in, who is coming here, when is coming in, you know, all of that. And that's what a producer does, you know. Is a producer is different from a stage manager. A stage manager the producer, the director tells him what to do and he brings people on the stage. He executes it, you know. Right now I'm working with I brought on a young stage manager, Aquinas, you know. Yeah. And he is so eager, and I look at him, I said, this is the future, and I'm so happy. But as you were saying about young people, there's those who will call me up and say, Mr. Katie, I want to be part of it, so I want to volunteer, I want to come and do it. And then you'll get one or two that would want to do it. And then others will come on, and then they see the work, and they back away. And that's why we need a school, you know, a theatre school, or at least bring that kind of stuff into this school so people can gravitate to it.
But you know what, 50th anniversary, you ever thought of getting into it on a permanent way, a theatre school for good?
Well, for 30 years, 40 years.
I know you've been doing it a long time.
And we don't need a stadium theatre. We need a little 400-seat theatre, well-equipped, state-of-the-art, that when you close it, and I don't want a theatre that changes into a basketball court or a badminton court.
It's only for that purpose only.
Theatre. So when you walk in and you close those doors, the world outside is locked out, and you're just in that little world, you know. I've been begging and trying, you know, for that for years. I'm hoping that with this new government, they're really kind of pushing the arts, creative industries, and so that's very, very positive for the people in the arts. So I'm hoping they will have that vision of giving Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique a national theatre.
All right. We due for a break again. Let's take it. When we come back, we talk about another one of the events that are coming up. We've been moving the dates back a bit back and forth. We jump from the 7th to the 10th, but we're going back to the 8th. So we're coming right back. Stay with us, folks. After the break, don't touch your dial. It's still the point here on Classic Radio.
Get ready to mark a historic milestone. It's the 50th anniversary of Independence Gala Cocktail and Dance, Saturday, 3rd February 2024 at the Crown Ballroom Radisson, starting at 7 p.m. for the all-inclusive cost of $500. All proceeds go towards the restoration of Government House. Secure your tickets now and be a part of history. Be there at the Radisson on February 3rd, 2024, hosted by Governor General Dame Cecile Lagranade. Tickets available at Grenadian Optical, Melville Street and Grand Anse, the 50th Anniversary Independence Committee Secretariat on the Carronage, and online at gotofet.com.
A glimmer in your
welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point for today, Wednesday, the 24th. It's opportunity for you to join the conversation also on number 4352041. We're talking about some of the activities that are coming up for Independence 2024, our 50th anniversary. I see we have a caller. Before we get into talking about another event, let's entertain this caller. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Oh, yes. Good morning to you, sir, once again. And good morning to your guests. Simple. I just want to, on behalf of the eye clinic, the management and staff of the eye clinic of the General Hospital, remind the clients that Thursday the 25th, which is tomorrow, there'll be no clinic at the General or the eye clinic. So please take note.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. I thought we were going to talk independence.
That's why I love Grenada. That's why I love Grenada. That's why I like Grenada. Oh, let me.
Well, good information. Even the information was welcome. Yeah. Let's take one more call. I hope it's something pertaining to our conversation. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, and good morning to your guests, and good morning to the listening public. I must say it's a good effort to appreciate PAN after 50 years. But I'm asking Ricardo as a producer, would he be honoring all the pioneers or the movements like the Daniel Albert Gibbs, the Coney Butcher, and all the once again, the guys from Happy Hill, on all the past steel bands? Would we get a little history of the pans that the people who made the pan in Grenada take it from where it reached, Wilfred Harris and all these persons on them? Would there be something? Because I think pan has been in the doldrums, and I have not been hearing after 50 years. Pan has come a long way, because pan was in danger in 1985, and you see we take it back to where it is now. And there were many bands here. Each parish at least had 2 bands. So I'm seeing this. I'm seeing that at least some kind of pan history could be given to at least the persons. To know where pan came from and where pan is anyway to after 50 years. Over to you, Ricardo.
Yeah. Thank you, caller. Thank you so much, and great contribution there from that caller.
Yeah.
If you maybe have not thought of it, maybe the idea.
It's a great idea. And I guess
can tell you what we do have a video celebrating some of the key moments in pan history that will be displayed on a digital screen, because at the end of the day it is an entertaining type of event, but we are compiling something just to honor past panorama champions and as much history that we can pack into that type of event. But I'm sure throughout the course of the year there's even more opportunity to celebrate even more of history as it relates to steel band in Grenada.
Right.
Steel pan.
And this would be a great opportunity too, as the caller was saying, is to actually develop a book.
Yes.
A documentation in book form relating to PAN. So that is something that we can work with the PAN Association and maybe the Secretariat or Ministry of Culture or something like that, But also to throughout the year, I think there's an opportunity where we can have a PAN discussion. Panel, so to speak, panel discussion and a presentation on the history of PAN and, as you were saying, of the past people, who they were, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So all of that, that's why the 50th is a whole year.
Yes.
So all these wonderful ideas, which we'll take note of this, will be jotted down.
Well, everything can be fitted into the date of the 10th, right, you understand? Yeah. But as it goes through the year, these of course, other components could be fit in some way or the other.
And that's why PAN 50 is kind of important, to me. I'm not important, but special, I really wanted to push PAN because we really don't. We celebrate it, but we don't really celebrate it because you had to be of a certain society in the olden days. You couldn't play pan. You didn't want your children to talk to pan people and all that kind of stuff, And only a certain segment of society would be playing pan and all of that kind of stigma in the colonial days, etc. But all that's gone now. And I think we have to celebrate pan in the schools for us to appreciate it, so bring it into the school, and not as a hobby, but as something that is as a musical instrument. Because I remember in Toronto, one summer I was walking through one of the parks and I heard this beautiful pan music. When telling, I said, "Oh my God!" So the parks have these little mounds. So I'm going over and I got over to the top of the mount and there were like 40 white kids playing pan. and they have the music sheets in front of them. I go, wow, I would love to see that in Grenada, you know. So there is still possibilities, and again, vision and execution is necessary.
All right. Chrissy, we missed out a wee bit on Pan 50 before we talk about folk in the town. The food part of it, the food part. You know, they always have something to distract you while you're listening to Pan.
No, you can eat and listen to Pan.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit of a distraction.
Listen, food is so important. Even in the Pan house, when we're getting ready for Panorama, you're working hours on end. Yeah. We look forward to the pilau. We look forward to the oil down, you know, when you get that break. So food has always been incorporated somehow, and we're so excited. This vision, Pan 50 and Food Fest, we have the 4 stages with the 7 steel bands, but also then a celebration of Grenadian cuisine.
Yes.
We're talking corn. I want some roast corn and boiled corn. You know, your coconut water, your oil down, of course, so important. Your smoked meats, your wild meats, your fish, your seafood. We're celebrating all those elements on the Carnage on the 10th of February. So it really is, you know, and of course we can't forget the drinks, right? Yeah. Food is, you know, drinks part of food as well. So that as well, the chocolates, the desserts, you know, all those things that we have created over the last 50 years, but also brought into the 50 years from our rich heritage. Of course, you know, food in Grenada is a mix of African influence, Indian influence, Asian, European influences, right? And we really put our own spin on things as well. So the idea is to celebrate all of those things while enjoying the sweet Pan music.
And you know, every parish have a unique way of doing particular dishes.
Yeah, right.
You know, I've had an oil down from someone in Grenville, and I had an oil down from someone in St. Patrick, and it was like, I mean, St. Andrew, and it was like 2 different oil down altogether with the same ingredients. But something about, not maybe everybody has a particular way of doing it, you understand? But somehow it's different than even your taste for somebody who went from Guelph.
And some people are very adamant, I don't put chicken in my oil down. I only put in pig foot. I want to put this. I want to salt beef. You know, that's not, you know, and that's the magic of it. People start being creative now, you know.
Great. Ricardo, folk in the town. Tell us about that. Another creativity.
Folk in the town is that's another nice event. I was trying to bring the town alive.
Yes.
And in the olden days, we used to have these 2 magnificent trees on the esplanade, and
I remember that.
Remember those, vaguely. That. And we used to be decorated at Christmas, and the police band and choirs used to go under those trees, and the families would come and they would sit and listen to the music. So I wanted to kind of bring that kind of feel back, you know. So we're putting the stage right in front of Granby Street. So if you stay on top of Market Hill and you look straight down, you'll be able to see the stage.
Great.
Right? So we're kind of making all that pedestrian as well, you know, so it'll be blocked off. And the whole event, feel of the event is folk. So we have folk singing, storytelling, Ladja Bless stories. You know, we have Pan again, you know, solo Pan. We have sax, because in the olden days, a lot of people used to play sax in Grenada, like the Wakax, you know, Wakax band and the police band. So sax is very powerful in people's homes as well. So I want to bring back that kind of feel. Poetry. So we have people like Robert White, we have Chris, we have Rita Andrick Greenwich, we have Lyndon, we have the Youth Quake Choir. I don't want to start calling names offhand because I don't want to leave anybody, but it's a nice potpourri of culture, of who we are. And again, it's going to be pedestrian. And we're going to have food again. And we're asking people to come dress folky. You know, wrap your hair. Just come folky. Just be part of it, you know.
All right.
And we're trying to light the streets a little bit up, you know. So it's really a nice feel. And it starts at 7:30 to go to 8 to 10:30, a 3 hour, you know, 3. It might go a little over, but about that. And then again, there's another nice surprise that I can't talk about that will happen in the middle. So it's that feel of what we were, because right now everything is so technology. Everything, the things are live there. It's happening, but they're looking at it through the phone because they're filming it. So therefore, you're not experiencing the moment. and you're taking that moment and you're going home and then you're looking at the moment on your phone in your bed. No, it kills it.
Yeah, I want to say, because, we understand how technology has filled the world today.
I know,
but you want to take us back there for a wee bit.
Yeah.
A couple of hours of going back to that way where we were.
Exactly, yeah. So I want that nostalgia. I want that kind of old-time music. Like I have Carrie Metz, I want them to play some old Sparrow music. It's just a nice feel, totally different energy from what's happening. And it's a family-oriented show.
Yes.
I always tell people, my career, my experience is older than the NDC and NMP. So I do things with the love of Grenada. Mm-hmm. I really love what I do. So really, when you see that there, it's for Grenada. I always tell you this story. When I was 15 years, I had my own. I've been doing this since I was 15 years old, as I tell you. I had my own theater group, dance group called the Spice Follies.
Yes.
And I decided to have my own show in GBSS Auditorium. And I'll never forget this. And it was $3 to get in. That was in 1970.
So you made a lot of money.
Yeah. And the patron of the evening was Sir Eric Matthew Gary.
Really?
Yeah. So that was before independence, right? So he was the premier at the time. And he came, and the show was sold out. I was 15 years old. My dad was helping me, and everything. And so I had this in my head. Nobody taught me how to do it. God just gave me.
Ricardo, rich from long.
Yes, I'm rich from long. God just gave me this gift. I used to go to the movies and watch the movies and go 2, 3, 4 times, see the musicals, and come home and try and do it at home. So I had no school, no training. That was my training. So the show happened. $3 sold out, right? And about 2 weeks later, a motorbike drove up with a policeman, a rider, with white gloves, came and knocked on my door. My mother answered the door. And of course, she said, "Oh God, what my son do?" Right? And he handed this envelope and he said, "This is for Ricky Keynes Douglas." At that time, I was Ricky, right? My name is still Ricky Ricardo, but Ricky. It was from Eric Matthew Gary. Mm-hmm. He sent a donation to the group.
Wow.
$50 in 1970. Mm-hmm. Now, as a young man, you coming down with your mother and answering, and there is this policeman with a glove handing you this. When you open it's $50. So don't tell me that's what I like, Gary. But it's just appreciation of when somebody appreciates what you do, so that's my story of culture.
And I guess that has helped you propel your career, feeling the appreciation coming from someone of that stature in society at the time.
Of course, and that's why we have to celebrate our own. Yeah. Because I would go where I'm loved.
Yes.
When I travel and the little thing I do abroad and stuff in Canada, I'm loved. When I say I'm loved, people come to my shows or they bring me to the schools and stuff like that. And sometimes our local artists say, I don't feel that. I don't feel I'm just being. They call me as a hobby. Mm-hmm. Or call so and so. That boy in Green Street, you write a book, call him, that kind of stuff, And it's a lack of respect, So I'm just saying that, but you have to earn it. Mm-hmm. You cannot do one song and become a hero. It's a body of work, So I've been doing this for over 50 aging myself now. 50 years I'm in the business internationally.
I understand. Let's get a little bit controversial here. So Eric Matthew Gary, in our 50th anniversary, not much has been said about him in this segment. Why? How do you feel about that?
Well, I think I agree in a way. I think that I think he should be. Well, he's the father of independence, and we have to understand that no matter what, good, bad, or ugly, right? Because of him, we are where we are today. We have to accept that, Yes. I just put something out the other day, which was really funny, and they're still talking about it 5 days later, Mm-hmm. I suggested, okay, folks, don't come after me. A recommendation is not a condemnation, it's not an election, it's not an execution, okay? It's just an idea. I put it out just for the fun of it. I said, we don't really have stuff that for Sir Eric Matthew Gary that's really prominent.
The Botanical Gardens, I think.
But the Botanical Gardens, but very few people go there, and stuff like that. I'm saying, let's rename. Here it comes. Okay, the Morris Bishop Highway into Sir Eric Matthew Gary Highway and leave the airport for Prime Minister Morris Bishop. So you're driving because Gary, Independence, driving onto the Eric Matthew Gary into Morris Bishop's Highway, So I suggested that. It's just a suggestion and a fun debate,
Probably you could bring it to the authorities. You never
And they're
know.
still talking about it on Facebook.
I'm just hearing about it myself, and I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Chrissy feels about it. She's not a independent. I mean,
Chrissy has no comment.
No comment. That's a fun idea because he has done a lot. He has done for education. He has done it no matter what. He has done a lot, and I'm just saying that. It is so prominent. Everybody says, "Oh, I'm on the Morris Bishop Highway. I'm on the Tony Jones Highway. I'm on the GIP Highway." So if every day I'm on the Eric Gary Highway, therefore he is present in the minds.
Yes.
And we go into the Morris Bishop Airport, rather than the Ponceline Airport or the International Airport, So that was just a suggestion.
And it's a way of recognizing his contribution to Grenada.
I think
so. 15th anniversary. It could be one of those recommendations that could fall through.
Yeah, and he has done schools. I mean, through education. He's, as the unions. He did a lot for the poor. He did a lot for women. He raised the pay for women and stuff in those days. And it's just a lot. But these are just suggestions.
You never know. It could come on board. Let's take another caller. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. Kings, morning, Douglas. Now, the idea we talk about Bishop Highway and Gary Highway, and it's a good idea because Bishop Highway is Expo 69, And that place, understand, Gary built this thing, but Gary didn't want nothing recognized by him when he came back. The way they treat him, he tell him that openly. He didn't want to name by he. They treat him too bad as a Grenada who would do for Grenada. Now, I know in the 70s, about your time, we used to go in the garden on a Sunday and listen to steel band, the police band, and a DJ in the gardens. You have places to go in the days gone by and give it time. We had places to go. We had cinemas, we had entertainment. There is nowhere to go right now. You're going to have people getting sick and get cancer and get diabetic every day. There's no activity in Grenada. No place to go and recreate yourself after work. You go to go and relax and see all the culture show, all this, all that. We live in 21st century Grenada. And we're more back on now than in the past. We're looking modernized and bring Grenada back as it used to be in the past. People in culture shows all about the place and things. Even for independence celebration come up anniversary 50. It's a gay the father of independence. I haven't seen a photograph of Gary up to now, nowhere at all, no that the wrongs about. Nowhere wrong. Besides in ministries. How we have enough artists who could draw Gary for you and put it up all around Grenada. Recognize the man, you bring up independent, you have bunted up in the sky, you have all trees and things with colors, but you haven't got a picture of the man who will celebrate up Like double standard. For a man who celebrate, who fight for independence for Grenada, who fought against some go in England and say, no independent when they come back. Bishop said no independent. Mr. Blaze said no independent. One guy came back and said, we have it in the bag. And we celebrate it today. Big up the man to us, big up the same independent, big him up, put photograph all around Grenada. And have enough things in the park for independence celebration with Gary.
All right, caller. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you so much. And you see, that has started already storing something up there already, Ricardo.
Yeah. Do you remember, GT, I don't know if you were up, there was a zoo in the botanical.
Yes,
you remember that?
I used to, there's a thing younger folks would say, it's a skull school.
Skull school, yes.
I remember, I hope my mom, she's dead now, so she can't, I wouldn't be beaten for that.
Yeah.
I remember we skull school and you go to the botanical gardens all day.
Yeah.
And then when school's about to close, you go. But maybe there was dictation that day and you don't want to partake in dictation. And if you spell a word wrong, you'll be beaten by the teacher and stuff. So we used to go to the botanical gardens all day. Remember there used to be that snake used to be in
exactly.
and stuff like that. And you spend the entire day in the botanical gardens.
Well, we had a zoo, man.
Yeah.
Kids used to go there. I remember when, and
you would drink from that lion face fountain. Remember that lion face fountain? Remember there used to be that lion fountain. That used to be
lion fountain, yeah.
Yep.
I think that's still
it's still there.
It's still there. Yeah.
I haven't been there.
Close to the Ministry of Education.
Yeah. So those was interesting days.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't go back there. I always say we can't go back.
Yeah, we can't go back.
But they were interesting
times. We can,
enhance it. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Telesford. Good morning to your guests. Wonderful conversation. But, one point I would like to make, and I keep making it, as especially as Ms. Chrislyn talk about food. Food is my thing. And we have had experience in the past, especially in the 74 period, 73, 74 period, when the port was shut down for 6 months and boats couldn't come in. So I'm asking your guests to bring back to the government that they put something in place that if a boat can't come, I say boat, some people say ship, we know a boat, that we have food security. I know Miss Lashington's mom, Chrislyn mom, she's good with food. I mean, she's skilled. But again, we need something more than just, the jams and the jellies. Jams and jellies are a way of preserving food, but what we do for the breadfruit and the bananas and the burgers, what I'm saying, we have to redeem the time we are living in. And it makes no sense to me that we are spending $15 million on independence. Yes, it's great, and I applaud the government's effort, but at the end of the day, if a shipload of food can come, how are we going to sustain ourselves with food?
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. I'm not sure what role we could play in that.
Yeah, that's really the ministry, the ministers. So it's a great idea.
That's on another political
that's a
level.
Governmental level.
Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Caller, whatever device you have in the background is too loud. You may have to have that taken care of and call us back, please. I'm looking at a comment from someone via the Facebook page, Ricardo, and they're saying, Gary, they say that probably we celebrating independence and we're not celebrating Gary. So we shouldn't bother with the issue of Garyism all the time. It's not exactly the words are the same, and I'm just kind of put it together in my own way.
Saying you're celebrating my birthday and you're not celebrating me.
Yeah.
It was pointed out that he's a man who started independent. It doesn't matter. I know.
And everybody would have their own feeling about things.
We're not celebrating Gary, but we're celebrating his effort to get us independence. And he was the man who did it. Without him, it wouldn't really happen. It wouldn't have happened. That's the only reason why I'm saying we have to acknowledge the man who did it, just like how we acknowledge all the other prime ministers for what they have done, in Grenada.
All right, so true.
Everybody, the revel, everything, It's a celebration. We must not forget history. We just can't. History is not a void. How did this apple get here? It didn't just drop in the sky. It came from a tree. Somebody went and they picked it. Who picked it? Johnny Jones. So we celebrate Johnny Jones. We remember him as part of history. Johnny Jones is the one who brought apples here. I'm just using that as an example.
All right, understandably so. Let's take another caller. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, morning. You see, as far as I'm concerned with independence, you have to celebrate everybody along the way because for the 50 years, everybody have contributed in some way over the last 50 years to the development of Grenada. But personally, my two people that I think that contributed significantly to the development of Grenada is Keith Mitchell and Gary. But however, in instance with Gary, I don't find that is my deliberate judgment, and I don't mean it in any bad way. I don't find that Gary is really prominently featured. For instance, the song that you're saying, up, 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 this kind of a song, I'm not against it. Nice background and everything. I'm not seeing Gary featured in that song. I'm not hearing any releases. WFM, like every day they will play speeches from Gary. I'm not saying that you have to idolize Gary, but the fact is that Gary has done significantly. He has really improved the lives of Grenadians. I'm not saying he perfectly do a lot of wrong too, just like all of us. But the emphasis, I'm not saying that you should idolize Gary, but I think the lapse in the area that they're not really featuring Gary on the 50th celebration. You're not hearing much about him. You're not hearing people talking much about him. That the PR is bad with that committee or whatever all you have. You're not having any educational programs and telling people all of these things that Gary done. The medical school, which is the second largest employer in Grenada today, all the things at the Easter Water Parade, all the things that get the school, just about every single thing, the district officers, the medical facilities, the school bus, just about everything, all these things in my deliberate judgment should be highlighted by the committee or whoever it is in charge. And I don't find, like I said, I don't want to repeat myself, that I'm not saying I should idolize Gary, but seeing that he's a father of independence, or how you want to put it, from political independence, because people think about, when they say independence, because no country will never be totally independent. He is a person that's responsible for political independence, and not only that, under that circumstances in which it was happening, because you and I know, I not know young spring chicken, how it happened with no light and current, and just about the whole thing that needs to be a little bit more taught in schools, or not necessarily schools, but featured on programs.
Caller, I'm going to ask you to take another 10 seconds and wrap, please, and thank you so much for your contribution.
I don't find you all doing a good job in terms of highlighting the man himself, and I think you all need to not idolize him, but do better than that to feature the man Eric Gary, who was the person who was with this 50 years today. And like I say, the two people, everybody helped with the contribution, but the two people
Caller,
really
thank you so much. And I think we got a drift. I don't want us to get sidetracked with the, just a mere comment we were having about the Gary, but we don't want to get all caught up and sidetrack ourselves too much about that. Ricardo and Christy, we have just about 3 minutes left, and just a quick review of some of the events coming up.
Yeah.
Pan 50, Folk in the Town, the 7th of February.
Folk is on the 10th.
Folks on the 10th.
10th, yeah.
So,
Pan is on the 10th.
Pan is on the 10th.
We get all mixed up on the dates, but
thank you.
So
Independence Day the 7th, Folk in the Town on the 8th of February, and Pan 50 and Food Fest on the 10th of February.
Yeah. And on the 2nd is Up From Here. 2nd of February.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the
we
concerts.
and then there's celebrations throughout the year. And every parish would have their month. Just remember that. Yeah. I think Carriacou is the January, I think, but every parish will have their month, and they will have their own celebration throughout the year. So everything is just not happening in February, March. So it's throughout the year. Yeah.
Let's get some closing comments before we wrap.
Yeah. Well, just to touch on the point of celebrating culture and our history, there has to be the motivation to make it happen. And I can say, just working along with Mr. Keynes Douglas on his upcoming play, Journey to Gold, I've learned so much about Sir Eric Matthew Gary, about how we, things that's happened in the last 50 years, because the play celebrates the 50 years.
Yes.
But items like these, whether it's through song, whether it's through theater, whether it's through programs, we have to have the motivation to pass on our history and to also deliberately preserve our intangible cultural heritage.
All right, great. Ricardo?
Yeah, but Journey to Gold happens in March, the 2nd and 3rd of March.
Yes.
And it's telling 50 years in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it's through comedy, song, and dance.
50 years in 2 hours.
In 2 hours. It's all the politics.
That's a lot.
From Gary right
That's a lot to come up with absorb in 2 hours.
I know. It's from Morris, Keith, Deacon, right up, And it's comedy. So you have to come. It's tongue in cheek. It's a lot of fun. It's not no heavy duty stuff, But it'll give you the history of what went down in 3 hours. In 2 hours. 2 hours.
2 hours.
But the celebration has been going really well. I feel good about it. And once God is working with you can't go wrong. That's my motto as well at Chrissy's.
All right.
And it's hard work, and it's a team, working with the committee, the secretariat, they're really doing a fantastic job. Gail Purcell and everybody else. So I just want to say that everybody, please come out with a wonderful spirit. If you want to, folk, we're asking people to come dress folky, just look good and just feel good. And it's a family feeling, So we put everything aside, and when we get together, it's one big Grenadianism, as you say.
That's my word. Grenadianism.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Ricardo and Chrissy, I want to thank you once again. Interesting conversation all morning. Yeah. I certainly hope the listening and viewing audience absorb all of that we said. Come out to the events. Come out to the 7th of February, the Independence Day event, of course, the Cultural Showdown.
Yeah.
They come out to on the 8th and the 10th.
Right.
Those two events, of course, wonderful events that will take place. And all the events that will just be part of Grenada's 50th anniversary of independence and just make the 1 year celebration an important one.
And one quick reminder, the color of the flag, the colors are red, gold,
and green,
not yellow.
Yep.
Red, gold, and green. And please respect the flag in all your activities.
All right. Thank you, folks, once again for being here. Wonderful conversation. Thanks once again.
Enjoyed it. Nice talking to you.
Thank you, and happy Independence.
Yes.
And same to you. Yeah. If we don't talk again, happy Independence.
Yes.
You never know, but there's always opportunity to come back again. You never know. We're probably going to see you folks again before the actual events happen.
Yes.
Hey, once again, to our listening and viewing audience, thank you so much for being part of To The Point for today. Join us again for another edition of To The Point. Have a good one, folks. That's why I say goodbye.